Thanks for coming to hang out with me again. We're going to do one more video on that last painting that we were working on, that last multimedia one, just to show you that we can throw some watercolor up there. We're going to see what it does. Maybe it'll look all right, maybe it won't, but we're going to give that a shot, and we'll see how it turns out. All right. In 1 second, I'll be right back with you. All right. One thing we're going to talk about is lighting. I don't know if I touched on it before. Ideally, if you're going to do if you're going to do a painting that you want to keep, you want to do it in the lighting that you're going to display it in. Now, this right here, this is of course, it's artificial light, and you can see how it looks right now. I'm going to switch the lighting for a second, and you'll see that it'll look different. 1 second. Now you have a brighter white light and another artificial light. And you can see that it looks different than it did. It's too dark in here to show you some daylight, but in daylight it looks a lot different. Your painting will look a lot different, regardless of how you did it, whether it was watercolor, oil, or whatever. But if whatever you're painting, if you want to sell it or if you want to keep it, you need to paint it in the light that it's going to be displayed in. If you paint it in a white ambient light, like is in a lot of houses, then it's going to look the same in that light. But if you paint it in a different light and you work on it for a long period of time and you display it in a different light, you may be disappointed when you get there and they turn on the lights and it's like, oh my God, it doesn't look like it did. So yeah, it matters. So let's see, today we're gonna put some acrylic. Also, I want to show you that what you can use for a palette. What I'm using today is wax paper. You put down a piece of wax paper and put your paint on it, and then when you're done, you can just throw it away, and you don't have to spend a lot of money on those wooden palettes or glass ones or whatever. But it's fine. But the wax paper is portable. You can throw it away. So I'm going to move this light a little bit so I can get out of my way here. All right, I'm going to back it up a little bit so I can get in here. Can you see still? Yeah. All right, let me get my chair in here. Get my chair in here and try not to knock everything over. All right, so watercolors. I mean, not watercolors, but let me see. Let me back this up. Let's try this right here. Let's see that. I don't want to get in your way. How about that? All right, so I'm going to put down we're going to throw some acrylic on there and see what it looks like. It may be okay, may not. We're going to find out. Good thing about acrylic, just like watercolor, all you need for a thinner is water. So I'm going to put some of this cadmium red down. Some yellow. Put some yellow in there. I'll show you this in a minute. red, yellow, and blue. You can mix that up and make what's called painter's black, which is, that's why black looks different on oil paintings and stuff, because it's not a flat black. You don't want a flat black, because if you mix it, it's got all those different pigments in it. It's more interesting. And you can put a like a burnt umber, burnt sienna, burnt umber in there, and change the tone of it just a little bit. But so here, I'm gonna put some burnt sienna in there. Okay. So let me grab some brushes. Let's see what we're gonna do. So I haven't planned this. I haven't planned anything out. We're just gonna throw some stuff on there and see the contrast between watercolor and this acrylic. Now, if you're painting for money, and you probably know already, and you're making a lot of money, you're painting for money, you want to use brushes, for a set of brushes for each type of paint. You want to set for oil paint, a set for acrylics, a set for watercolors. You don't want to do what I'm doing here. I mean, I have a set for oil paintings that I haven't used, but these brushes that I'm using for these little videos are cheap. But okay, so what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna mix a little bit of this paint up. Let's see. I'm gonna take some of the blue, red, and yellow. Blue, red, and yellow, mixed it up, and it's what's called painter's black. So let's put that on there for just a touch to see what it looks like, for a little shade. Yeah, you see how different that is already. That acrylic from that watercolor stands out already. So we're gonna put some shade in here, just messing with it so we get a feel of how it's gonna go. Use it for some shadows. Use it for some shadows. Yeah, you can see that? It already stands out against that watercolor it brings. So I didn't plan a subject for this, but if you put a subject of a person or whatever, and you painted it with this acrylic, it would really stand out against that watercolor, which is there's plenty of painters, professional painters, who do that. They'll use, I mean, like I said, this is multimedia, meaning we've used watercolors, pencils. We've used even a little bit of colored pencil in this, and now we're using acrylic. That's why it's called multimedia. We used all kinds of different things in here, and this is posterboard. But if this was a canvas, you could even use all of these plus watercolor, and you can make a really, really nice contrast that way. Some of these well-known artists, they do that. You look at some of their paintings, and you wonder how in the world did they get the background so light, and the subject is so rich, got so much rich color in it, is because they probably used watercolor for the background, and then they used what a lot of pros will do is they'll paint their painting in with the acrylic, because acrylic's cheaper than oil paint. So they'll do the whole base painting with acrylic because it's quick, dries fast, and then they'll go over it with oil. Now you can put oil over acrylic, but you can't put acrylic over oil. It won't stay. It's not, you got oil underneath, it won't work out. But you can put oil over acrylic, but not acrylic over oil. So on a canvas, you could start out with, pencil, whatever. You could go to watercolor for your background. You could go and then do the whole, and whatever else in acrylic, and then use oil for your highlights. It'll save you money, It'll save you money. If you do the whole thing in oil, which you can, you do the whole thing in oil, it's going to cost you more, of course. Like I say, and the good thing about this acrylic is it's water soluble. Put some water on there. Let's see. Let's get bold and put something in here. I was talking day before yesterday, about putting a treasure chest in here. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to go ahead and use this painter's black that I made out of the. I'm just going to stick it in here. I didn't plan this. We're just gonna put this in here and see what comes up. Let's see what comes up. I'm doing this just so we can see. Always have your rags handy, so we can see what this is gonna look like. Now I'm going to use some just yellow for my gold. You can mix it up. We're going to put some gold in here. I'm going to use some yellow so maybe it'll stand out. So I'll show you in a minute. We're just gonna make a pile of gold coins in the woods out here. Now you can, like I was saying before, you can put detail on stuff. Just want to get it on there, and then you can fix it. Like I said, you can fix it later. Just get it on there. You'll see. Maybe we'll make this look all right. Maybe we won't. It doesn't matter. Does not matter. Does not matter. We're gonna put this on there, and we'll see what happens. I mean, all right. So we're gonna put this in here. Put a little water in there, make this go a little bit further. You can say gold look a little bit because it's picking up them watercolors. That's why it's starting to look like gold instead of yellow. It's picking up that watercolor. and probably some of that painter's black that I put on the brush. All right, this one. Yeah, I'm gonna try to wipe this little brush off and see what happens. Maybe we can wipe it off. Maybe we can't. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just gonna paint my treasure box here. I don't know. Let's see. See what happens. Let's see what happens. But you can see already, though, that it is working. That acrylic does stand out against that watercolor background. So if you're gonna make a good painting that you wanna hang on to, or this would work. This would work. This would work, and you can see why people do it. If you had a complex painting like some of these artists, like, you can imagine, if you ever heard of him, Boris Vallejo. Now, I haven't looked into him a lot. I don't know. I never studied him. I like his work, but I never studied him like I have other artists. But he's really good. If you've ever seen any of his work, and you can tell by looking at his work, because he does like book covers and stuff like that. But he uses the thing is that is I really don't like about his. I mean, he's great, but I don't like about him is he uses real models, and he paints them real, and to me it takes away from it. It takes away from it, whereas somebody like Frank Frazetta, or the guy before him that did the Edgar Rice. God, I gotta get that guy's name. Did the Edgar Rice Burroughs novels and stuff. He did not. That stuff came out of his head. Now they did also use them for reference. But they didn't try to paint them. They didn't try to paint them exactly as they are, like realistic. But they did use models for reference on occasion, not regularly. I know Frank Frazetta did. He uses this woman on more than one occasion, but he didn't use her all the time. And he used her for simply to get the poses, and then he did his stuff to it. He exaggerated in the parts he wanted to, and so like I said, there's so many colors in the jungle. You got a little brown left on your brush, just put it up here somewhere. Don't waste it. Ain't gonna hurt. There's all kinds of colors out there. Everywhere you look. Like I said, in your eyes may not detect them always, but if you'll notice some of the pictures that you're looking at, the paintings, if they look more natural to you, or they draw it's because they're using the colors that are out there, and it makes it look more realistic. But this is Saturday. I'm trying not to run this video out too long, so but I want to show you. I want to show you the kind of, where you can use the things you can use. Let me get it. Let's see what we're going to do here. I need to grab a little smaller brush here. Wow. Okay. I need to get me some more brushes is what I need to do. A lot of these ones I got are pretty old, but I hang on to things until I just can't use them anymore, you know. I do. So let's see what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put some gold on this. Try to anyway. Let's see what happens on this treasure box. Gold band around this treasure box, maybe. Make it a little more interesting. Maybe some gold corners on there. Gold corners. Put some gold corners on there. I don't want to get paint all over my hands. Now, something you can do if you're painting with, you see how in a situation here where I'm worried about touching that paint, you can take a stick, a yardstick, or a ruler, and you can, I mean, one thing you can do, they make things for that, but you could fold up a pair of socks on each end, put a rubber band around it, and it'll hold it off the painting. You can lay it across in the dry spots, and it'll hold it off the painting, and you can rest your hand on it, and it'll help you keep from getting paint on your hand. Because if you start to get focused on one spot, you can easily cause yourself a lot of work trying to fix what you did, you know. Like I said, there's practically nothing you can't fix, but you work on something for a long time, you know, you don't want to go back. You don't want to go back. All right, so let's see what else we got here. So I had some yellow on that. I had some yellow on this brush, so instead of wiping it off and throwing it away, I mixed it with some blue that I had. And that'll give us some green. It'll give us some green. So we can make some little weeds, little plants. Right? But you see how that acrylic, does? It works. And this is just poster board that you buy for the kids, you know, for school. I mean, like I always say, you don't have to spend a lot of money to create stuff, and you can. I mean, you can create things that are worth money. With you gotta spend a ton of money on materials. There's people that will tell you that you have to. You know, there's plenty of people that will tell you that. Oh no, they will if they look. I tell you what, if you're dealing with somebody and they look down on you for what you're using, oh, you got to use this, you got to use that. One, they're snobs, and two, they're probably not very good at what they do anyway. And there's lots of people that are teaching, especially art, that are really not that good, you know. Good thing here is you're not spending any money. I'm not. so I don't have to be good. I just have to be informative, maybe. What I'm saying, you can take it or leave it, but at least you're not spending any money. But when you start spending your money, you want somebody that knows what they're doing, teaching you, And when you get up there and they don't, and it's happened to me at least once, that I spent my money, wasted my time, got up there and the individual didn't know as much as I did, which is not saying much. And I put some more yellow in to get a different shade of green there. Like I said, I'm not going to waste a lot of time on this. I just want to show you the contrast, and then I'm going to put a little bit of, get another brush and try to put a little bit of definition, on our gold coins. And that, all you got to do there is simply take that painter's black that I made, and hopefully I can find a small enough brush that ain't gonna fail me. It is not going to fail me. And we'll grab some of this painter's black, and like I said, red, yellow, and blue, mix it together and it makes a black. So let's see, we're just gonna, hopefully this will work. We're just gonna try to make our little coin shadows. Little coin shadows. Trying to make our little box look like coins. Let's see, all we did was just put a big yellow hill on there, and now we're going to put some shading in there, and from this painter's black, and then we're going to make, hopefully, step back a little bit, and maybe it'll look like coins, maybe it won't. Maybe it'll look like coins, maybe it won't. But whatever, you can fix it. You can fix it. When we get done here, hopefully I'll show you this. I'll show you this palette that I made. So, and you can, when you make it out of roll of wax paper. You can just fold it up and throw it away when you're done. You know, you can carry it wherever you're going. I mean, if you got to travel to do some painting or whatever, you just grab you a box of wax paper. And I've got a piece of plywood that I lay it on, and you're off. You know, minimizes your amount of junk you got to put in your vehicle to carry somewhere to do something. Yeah. You're not gonna believe this. My brush, the head just came off my brush, which that's really nice. That's really nice. Yeah. That's really nice. Really like that. So it's all right though. It ain't gonna stop us. It is not going to stop us. Oh my goodness. Yeah, if your painter's black is starting to look a little green or something, you grab some more of that red when you're doing, red, yellow, and blue to make it. You grab some more of that red and put it in there, and hopefully it'll look blacker. I think mine's turning more red, but we're gonna get some more blue. There we go. Grab some more of that blue and red, and that'll darken it up. Okay. Okay, anyway, it's kind of darkening this area up. Make your things stand out here. Just make it stand out. It's just that painter's black, and you see it. You might notice. I don't know if you can see with this light, but you might notice all the colors that are in it. You can see some of the red in it, and it makes for an interesting black. Not it's just flat. It's gonna look flat. But if you mix it, you've got more colors in it. Let's try to put a little shadow in this box, because I've got this on that brush. It's all right. So we wound up putting some red up there. It's all right. We'll pull it down here. Make a corner. Makes our box look deeper right there. Yeah. There we go. I didn't pour out any white, but you can take white, which actually I will do. I'm gonna do this real quick. You can put a lot of time into your paintings if you want to, and they'll get as complex as you want to make them. You can really, as you can see, if you just kept going, you kept adding things, plants, more subject matter in there, it gets more complex, more interesting. And it's something we'll get into at another time, but and we'll get into it at another time, but there's a marketing people know. There's a marketing actually it's not the theories for psychology, but marketing, they use it in marketing. They use it in marketing. It is your mind. If you make an even number of subjects, your painting's going to be boring. If you make odd numbers, I mean, this here actually probably I would want to add one more if I did, because look, basically you got 1, 2, 3, 4, ideally 5. You want something, and odd numbers makes people look. It's a subconscious. It's psychology, but it works in marketing. It's what makes people stop and look at your pictures. It makes them stop and look at soup cans or whatever. And it's called the Gestalt theory, and it's not a theory, it's a fact. If you put, whenever you try to remember, just put an odd number of subject, 3, 5, and it'll help. And then use at least 4 shades, 4 different shades. You can use more than that, but 4 different shades, light, dark, darker, 4. Use at least 4 shades, minimum of 3 shapes, and never put your subject in the center. Never put your subject in the center. That's boring. If you put your subject in the center of a painting, people are just going to walk by it. Just, and if you're going to use one subject, I mean, I wasn't going to go in, and I'm not going to go into this in detail, but if you're going to use one, say you want a person or whatever, and that's going to take up the one subject is going to take up your whole board, make sure it touches 3 sides. Make sure it touches 3 sides, not 4. Make sure it touches 3 sides. It doesn't matter which 3 sides, but not all 4. If it touches all 4, people, they're less likely to stop and look at it. So anyway, look into the Gestalt. Look into the Gestalt theory, and it's not a theory. It actually works. Okay, I'm gonna try to put some. Try to make your gold stand out. A little gold stand out. Actually, this brush is not good enough for what I'm trying to do here. It's not good enough for what I'm trying to do. But you get the idea. You don't have to do this. I'm just, but some highlight of some sort somewhere. Ideally where it catches the light, depending on where your light source is coming from. This is not ideal, but anyway, you get the picture. You get the picture. I light your gold chest. Make it look a little more interesting. I'm not really satisfied with this here. So I'm going to quit while I'm behind. But what I wanted to do is show you that you can use acrylics. Yeah, you can use acrylics. Okay. I'm going to clean off this brush really quick right here. But the things I'm passing on to you is just things I've learned from professionals that did take the time to answer my questions at a couple of times in my life. The one about the Gestalt theory I got from a real professional. She was, I went to one semester of her class in Methodist University. She was a lady who designed My Little Pony, and she did Campbell soup, a lot of Campbell soup labels. If you see, she did them, you know. And I didn't have the money to stay on there, so she as a favor to me, I didn't ask her, but she told me, look, all you need, remember the Gestalt theory, remember to put 4 different values in it, and then it's, you know, then it's up to you. But that's the basic, that's marketing in a nutshell for art, probably for anything else. But I'm gonna see if I can go over here. I'm gonna get this chair out of my way here. Okay. Oops, don't do this to me. You see that right there? This is use that wax paper. That wax paper for your palette. When you're done, you just wad it up and throw it away. Wad it up and throw it away. Well, I thank you. Really appreciate you stopping in again. If you're on my YouTube and you haven't yet, you know, you can like and subscribe if you want. But I'll be here. I'll be here, and I'll be doing videos. I'm done with this. I beat a dead horse on this one. So we'll do something else. We'll do something else tomorrow. Some different medium. Well, maybe I'll use some white paper, and we'll do you know, graphite, just a pencil. Maybe we'll do some pencil and some, let's see, maybe some of this powdered graphite. This is a good time. But it is messy. But you just take a brush, and this, it's graphite in a can. Comes in a can like this, and that is full. Man, you drop that, you never clean your house up. But that's full of graphite. But it makes some beautiful. It makes some beautiful drawings. You can go put it on with a brush, put it on your finger, put some water, makes it dark. You know, I mean, beautiful values you get out of that. So, well, that'll be it for today. I really appreciate you dropping in. I'm on YouTube, TikTok, Rumble, and Instagram. On Instagram, I think it's Redmon something, but you know where I am here. But yeah, it's David Redmon. Look up David Redmon, Longbowart, or David Redmon, artist and illustrator, and writer and illustrator, and you'll find me. I have books on Amazon. And I did a few children's books, illustrations for children's books. I got some of that paint on my hand. But I appreciate you. So you have a good rest of your weekend. Thank you.